Hello, friends. This is Chandrakant from Akulmach, and today we would like to discuss about, what is going on in UK, with especially the royal family, and a lot of news is coming, especially between the families, and how things and the statements are being made from both sides. To discuss this further, I'm not the best person to make any comment. Let me invite my friend from UK, Mr. Naval Gun.
Good morning, CK. Good morning, everybody. I'm not sure I'm the best person to comment either. I'm just an innocent bystander, and it's sad actually when you see a family breaking down so publicly, where it's a bit of he said, she said. Um, has it been interpreted properly? Have the communication levels not been good? We've heard that the communication is irreparably broken down between father and son not feeling supported by his father, and which is really sad actually. That's been played out in the public arena. Um, but that's where we are. I mean, I see this as a relationship issue, really, like anything else. And the best thing to do with relationships is to have a discussion. And if it's difficult for you to have a discussion with me, let's say, then we bring a third party in and we bring a broker, a friend that's impartial. You might call them an independent judge who's not going to judge either side, but he's just going to look at the facts. So, but what do you think? I mean, do you think that it's this type of family breakdown should be played out in the public arena?
Well, I think before I answer the question, let me give a little bit background and about what people feel about this incident in India. It is among the top 40 trending subject, even though it is not the topmost. So it is not on the top list of people's mind. But it's a royal family of UK, which is one of the last surviving monarchy in the world. So it's intriguing, but I don't think people are really moved about it because there are much bigger issues which are happening everywhere. Um, but I think to answer your question, the royal family is nothing unique. It's like any other family, your family, my family, and usually we don't want anything to go out of the family. We actually discuss within the family and don't let the even neighbors know about it. But here, first of all, it's a monarchy, and then things are going out of hand, and then across the continents, and the statements are being made, and there is a big ocean in between, Atlantic Ocean. So the between the two families, the statements are being made from this side of the ocean and from that side of the ocean. So I think it's pardon me I'm just saying that it will sound of little funny for us. Just
No,
pardon
I
me.
can I can completely understand what you're saying, and in some respects, I'm really pleased that it's not. It may be in the top 40, but it's not trending that high, because it is personal. I mean, the one big issue that has been raised from the whole discussion is this issue about racism and I would call it a direct attack on a specific undisclosed member of the royal family. So this is where it's a big issue. It's a huge issue. This is the royal family. We have the Queen that still, I wouldn't say rules over the Commonwealth, but the Commonwealth still exists. And if you look at all the members of the Commonwealth, the thought that the patron of the Commonwealth is a racist, or indeed any member of the family of the patron is a racist, starts to really cut deep into, well, what other beliefs have we got here? And it raises other questions, is what I'm saying. And I think that's incredibly sad. If it's true, and again, if you're going to state this in the public arena, better be pretty certain of your facts. And indeed, the rebuttal from the Queen's office was just 61 words. So a 2-hour interview got 61 words response, which said, in essence, that the 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 three individuals, because there are three, and there's to be a fourth, because Meghan is pregnant. Due soon to have another child of royal descent, and we shouldn't belittle that, because royals are royals wherever they are. They still have the bloodline. And indeed, in the Queen's statement, or the Palace's statement, of course, they are beloved members of the family. So there is some reconciliation that needs to be had here. And it is sad. I mean, if I were to think of that happening with my family, any member of my family, um, even distant members of my family, that would play out a disgruntlement, an unhappiness in social media, because it's easy, isn't it? I mean, you can put it on Facebook, you can put it on Twitter, Instagram, you can put a video recording of it, and all of a sudden it potentially could go viral. I think just that's a very sad state of affairs, and we don't see it very often, thankfully. But I do hope that there's a reconciliation here. When you look at the the arguments that are going backwards and forwards already, and we're seeing people that are taking sides. On the BBC, we see polls that have been instigated about, there's a very young. The young people are 3 times more to side with Harry and Meghan, whereas the older population are more likely to side with the Queen. Why are we going down that route? And it's because it's news. It's because people latch on to news. But I really want this racist issue to be put to bed, because I don't think there's a racist issue here. But that's just my personal belief.
I also second you. It is not a racist issue at all, because racism has no place in today's society. What I personally feel, and looking around and seeing my family and lots of other families in the neighborhood and different cities, this is a usual occurrence. When a new person joins the family, there are going to be some sparks, some misunderstanding and things like that, and these have to be resolved. It happens in every family. When there is a new person joining a family from outside, both sides have to compromise and adjust. It takes time, it takes a lot of maturity. So it's something like that. I don't think it has anything to do with any racism. I personally don't like the idea of that, because it's not going to be. And I'm sure royal family has a lot of experience, and they have done a lot of things on humanitarian basis. They've gone around the world. I don't think racism affects them. It's just that the sparks are flying because the adjustment has not happened. So I think, in my opinion, they need to live together, to know each other, so that some sort of adjustment happens, and they actually unite, live as a family, not fall apart.
Yeah, I quite agree with you. I mean, you talked about there's a huge ocean between the two parties. I think what we need to do is drain the ocean and start walking. It's a common flavour of the things I would say normally. The only way this is going to be sorted is if you talk to each other. If you need anyone to help you, then get it. There are lots of people that want to help this discussion. So, but as I say, I don't think that this is going to die away and fade into the pages 55 in the bottom right hand corner of the news items. I think this is going to be live for a bit of time, and it sparked, as I say, a lot of issues. Over the last year or so, we've had Black Lives Matter, which is really important for the future of the world, future of humanity. There's been the issue of slavery, which hopefully, although it isn't completely eradicated, as we keep hearing on the news, hopefully it is in the in the subsiding away in society. Was it right 500 years ago? In our terms today, no, it wasn't right 500 years ago. But we don't know what it was like 500 years ago. Was what we hear. I see some really interesting documentaries about some of the plantation arena, which in essence, a lot of people say that's slavery, where some of the owners actually were completely integrated with the local community. They provided good health care, good working conditions. They were good landlords, if you like, um, and that I think is missed if we start to just brand everyone with this slave type arena, and this person earned their money just through slavery, and then ignoring the fact of what was done with the money and how it impacted society overall. I didn't live in that time. You can't judge that time on this time's values in many respects. We can only judge ourselves today. And of course, slavery, racism, all of those, negative elements of human behavior, they should be absolutely in the past. They should not even be thought in today's society. So let's
Yeah,
hope that this one unravels favorably for both parties and they can be a happy family.
yeah, but I think just to add to what you just said, I think I would still I feel I would still say that the younger one, the younger couple, uh, should have a little bit more maturity, because they belong to the royal family and they shouldn't have gone to the press. I think that is where they have gone wrong, and they moved first and made things public. So I think that is where the mistake is. Nevertheless, it's not a very big mistake, but I think whatever happens with the royal family will always be in the public glare, and it's in the public scrutiny. The royals will have to sort out their issues, probably meet a psychiatrist, meet somebody who can solve these mental, in fact, I would like to use your word, behavioral waste, and come together as a family. I think that is what is required.
Well, certainly, you touched on certain subjects like mental health. I mean, this is an absolute issue. I mean, as we know, Prince Harry has throughout his life had difficulties. Um, we can all sort of trace that back to the issue about the death of his mother, etc. But he's clearly had his difficulties, and he's had lots of support. And even today, he has his difficulties. And I think it's good for a person in that position, and indeed his brother too, has mentioned about mental health. And I know that they've been involved in certain charities regarding mental health and the improvement of mental health, and encouraging people to talk, which is all the more disappointing why the lack of discussion is now in the public arena on a very public show with one of the world renowned interviewers. Um, and as I say, it's sad. I don't. I'm not in the counselling arena. We don't really know what's gone on. But now we have one side's opinion as what's gone on. Now the time is to put it in the past. Let the family deal with it. But unfortunately, it's now in the public arena, so there's absolutely no chance that is going to be played out in private. So we'll watch this space. But it's a message to everybody out there. It's if you've got a problem, sort it out between you. If you can't sort it out between you, get someone to help you. If you don't want to sort it out between you, then just go your separate ways. Just move on. It's a bit more difficult with families, as you and I both know, especially when you've got extended families. But however difficult it is, you need to do it. So the message today is relationships will break down if you don't put the effort in.
Absolutely, Neville. I think the Royals hopefully sort out their issues as soon as possible and not later. And we will keep coming back on this subject as and when this story evolves. So for today, let's say goodbye, and we will catch up on the next episode very soon with something more interesting.
Thanks very much, CK. Enjoy your day, everybody.
Bye bye.